So this is the third update that we sent. Why did we send this yesterday? Well, it's because we received new information, actual data that comes from the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, that is supposed to regulate all of the trading. Now, this information is delayed. This was for the month of April, but we're on a list, and you only get on this list when shares don't cover, which means how do these shares exist? We have an amazing group of retail shareholders who love our stock, who buy our stock, who own our stock, as we try to grow our company and do great things to build out the ecosystem, to protect everybody's voice, access to the internet, all the great things that we're working on. So how do we end up on this list for the entire month of April? And not only are we on that list, we previously, for the first half of April, which we got that information 2 weeks ago, we were very high in terms of these shares that somebody was shorting that don't appear to have existed. Well, in the last 2 weeks of April, it actually tripled in the total number. It tripled in the total number. Now, all we're asking for is transparency. So we have a lot of whistleblowers who have come forward. We're going through that information. We're running this investigation. As I said on this show a couple weeks ago, we have a company to build. I have a business to build, but we also have retail shareholders to protect, and we should not be on this list. We're a very high-profile company. Everybody knows who we are, and the fact that the SEC and others really should be looking at this immediately, and that's, I think, the key that we've asked Congress to focus on. Is there's something called, and it's going to get a little bit in the weeds here, guys, but we're asking for what are called the blue sheets. We need to know on 3 specific days of trading. One day which hit a record number of shorts that didn't cover, meaning these shares they just were made up out of thin air, is from what we can tell. So the Congress actually has the ability, so does the SEC, to go in and look at 3 specific days. We just want to know who traded those shares. It's a simple question. Who is it? Who did it? I don't think we have so many retail investors. I think the average shareholder in our company, because we have so many, they may own, I'm just a rough guess, 50 to 100 shares is the average number of shares. So how is it that on one day, almost 2.3 million shares are not able to close? Who's doing that? Can't be our retail shareholders. I don't think we have any retail shareholders that have 2 million shares. Yeah. So somebody that's involved in these markets, either a brokerage fund, the market makers, hedge funds, or a combination of all of them, have contributed to this problem. And the bad thing for them is that they got caught. They got caught. They I don't know what it was, the fury of politics, that they don't like President Trump, so they want to try to hurt our company. Look, maybe someday we'll figure out why. But what do we have today? We know that this is totally unusual. It looks really bad on every government agency, and that's why we're working with Congress. We're also, as you know, working with state attorney generals. We'll have more on that coming soon. I'm starting to get other state attorney generals that are reaching out to us asking questions, because at the end of the day, there's many statutes here that have been broken, not only at the federal level but also at the state level. I say could have been broken. As you know, John, I like to get the facts and do the research, run the investigation. But it appears like many laws have been broken here if we remain on this list. It's just really unfortunate that this would be happening, but we have a responsibility to get to the bottom of it.